Welcome back. For our second debate, we're talking MLB baseball. Last night, the Atlanta Braves beat the LA Dodgers by a score of 5-1 in Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. Freddie Freeman and Ozzie Albies both hit home runs for the Braves as starting pitcher Max Fried pitched 6 innings, allowing only 4 hits and 1 earned run. I'm joined by Marena Sever and Blake Sevenbergen to debate their picks for the National League Championship Series.
Yeah, I know that Atlanta took Game 1, but I really just think that is thanks to a momentary lapse in what is typically a lights-out Los Angeles bullpen. And why I think the Dodgers will inevitably take this series and move on to the World Series, they just have a depth in every single sense of the word that is unparalleled, not only by the Braves, but I think by any other team in the major leagues. The fact that the NLCS is a best of 7 compared to a best of 5 like the DS or a best of 3 like the wild card is that the Dodgers have that starting rotation depth that Atlanta doesn't necessarily have. So Atlanta has Fried and Anderson to take the 1-2, but then after that, their depth really just tapers off compared to the 3 young guys that come after Buehler and Kershaw for the Dodgers. And I know that the Braves can absolutely rake, but it seems that in so many offensive categories, the Braves are second to Los Angeles. In runs scored in the regular season, they're second to Los Angeles. In home runs on the season, they're second to Los Angeles. Defensively, Los Angeles is second in defensive runs saved compared to Atlanta's, I think, 21st in that ranking. So I just think the Braves are a great team. I honestly hope they win. We all know I do not like the Dodgers, but I just think if we're being realistic, Los Angeles has so much more longevity from their team, including stars like Bellinger and Betts, who are 2 of the best players, not only in the 2 best players in the series, but 2 of the top 5 best players in all of the major leagues. So yeah, I just really think I know that they lost Game 1, but I think Los Angeles will cruise to an NLCS victory.
So, like you said, the Braves have been great defensively so far. Their team, they have a .93 team ERA in the postseason. Bullpen's given up 1 run the entire postseason. That's why I think that the depth issue that the Braves have isn't as important as people are saying it is. You know, you give up 1 run the entire postseason so far. That's unheard of. And so, you know, going into games 3 and 4 when Anderson and Fried are not pitching and then they come in on 3 days rest later on, you know, those guys in the bullpen can pick up after the 4th or 5th inning and carry a team towards a victory. And then with that, you know, the Braves are a big home run team, and last night they showed that they hit multiple home runs. They've done that multiple times in the playoffs. You know, they won a whole series as well. Against the Reds, they didn't give up a single run. They shut out the Marlins in Game 3, and all of their runs that they've scored seemingly have been on the home run. Those 2 things have been working for them so far. And then with that bullpen, I think they're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, I mean, the Braves definitely do have a lights-out bullpen, and that is something that carried them to victory yesterday because they were able to hold firm while Los Angeles's bullpen inevitably was not. But if you don't have that depth in the starting rotation past Fried and Anderson, I think, to me, if the Dodgers can come in the early innings and take advantage of the Braves starters, it doesn't really it takes away from the talent that the Braves have in the bullpen, because if the Dodgers pitching is lights out and the Dodgers offense is lights out against Braves starting pitching, it doesn't and the Braves are behind, it doesn't really matter that a bullpen is great unless the Braves can come in and rake off of Dodgers relievers like they did last night. But again, I really think that was just a rare weakness or a rare weak spot for Los Angeles' bullpen. And I just think, yeah, I can't say it enough. The Dodgers just have a depth that I have not seen in so long, probably in my lifetime, if I'm honest. And yeah, I think it's going to be an easy cruise to the end for them. Fried and Buehler were both lights out last night. I expect Kershaw and Anderson to do the same tonight. But I think after those first 2 games, that's where the Braves are going to start to run into some trouble because they don't have the starting pitching depth that Los Angeles inevitably has. And I think that is what is going to be kind of their kryptonite for the rest of the series.
I would agree. If the Braves are starting pitching with Fried and Anderson doesn't hold up early in the game, they could be in for trouble. But that's where the great offense that they have comes in. Travis d'Arnaud is playing out of his mind right now. You know, Ronald Acuna Jr. can come up with a hit any single time. He's one of the most clutch players in baseball. Freddie Freeman he's the most consistent player, I would argue, in baseball. MVP candidate this year, hit a home run in the first inning last night off of Walker Buehler, who is one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Yeah, and the Braves, what's interesting is they really did build their offense around Freddie Freeman and his consistency. And they have, Ozzie Albies, Acuna, they have so many great young players that are contributors to that offense. And honestly, the Braves and the Dodgers are probably the two most prolific offenses in the entire major leagues, which is why they're so fun to watch. So really, I keep going back to this is going to come down to pitching, and Los Angeles can go the distance through 7 games should it go that far, and I don't think Atlanta necessarily has that. I'm going to be interested to see how Game 2 plays out tonight, but regardless, I think it's going to be a great series between two awesome teams who have had some postseason heartbreak in the past couple years for sure.
I agree. I think the whole series relies on Game 2 tonight. Ian Anderson on the mound for the Braves hasn't given up a run the entire postseason. If that happens today and he gives up a run, gets roughed up a little bit, I think the Braves could be in for a rough rest of the series.
Yeah, but it's going to be a fun one to watch, and I can't wait to see how it plays out.
I agree.
All right, well, we're going to throw it back over to a commercial. Thanks for sticking with us.